Folks, I would like to talk to you today about one of the important aspects of living, that is worshipping the idol. Not only the idol of God, but the idol of the past. Both are connected, as you will see very soon today. As we talked about in other videos, that there are three levels of God's existence, that is the plane of white light, and the plane of golden light, and the plane of red light. These three planes of existence have a representation inside you in the form of three jyotis. The white light or the white ray gives you the experience of the pure I-ness inside you. The golden light represents the life principle and also the joy, love, etc. And the red light supports your body, including the human mind, which basically consists of the five senses and the representation of the experience in human mind. It is in this plane, the last plane of existence, that is the plane of red light, where the multiplicity is. If you recollect how the multiplicity came into existence, is when one of the energies or Shakti separated from me and saying that I'm everywhere. In other words, Aham Brahmasmi took me everywhere in the space and became multiple. And this is how the third plane of existence came into picture. This is the plane where the time exists as the past, present, and the future. That is because the human mind cannot exist without separating the past, the present, and the future from one another. I'll talk about this problem in some other videos in future. But for now, please remember that it is this plane of red light which is posing the multiplicity concept, which is supporting the multiplicity concept and also the concept of time. The red light allows innumerable mutations. That's how there are multiple human forms appear to exist in the plane of red light. And I'll talk about this again in some other video, but today's focus is the idol worship. Let us start with the worship of the God's idol, that is God's image. Probably this has started sometime in the past when someone experienced the quote-unquote God, the unknown, which is beyond the mind. They want to represent this to the world. Or in other words, they want to pass on this experience not only to their disciples around or to the future, and also to their own mind. And they created the forms of various gods. I'm going to talk about in terms of the Hindu gods, but the same idea you can extrapolate to other religions as well. For example, suppose someone has experienced the Shiva and that person represented in human form or in linga form, the notion of Shiva with the Trishul, etc., etc. Now, to that person who created that image, uh, that form, that idol represents um, that person's experience of the unknown God. But nevertheless, it is in the memory of that person. The memory of experiencing the unknown is different from the unknown itself. The unknown is a living concept, whereas the memory of that is a dead concept. It is inside that person's mind. Now, at least to that person, it is that form of idol is representing the unknown. Though it is not the living unknown, but it's a dead unknown, but at least the unknown. But when you worship that same idol, what brings to your memory is the concept of Shiva as you read in books, as you heard from gurus or from your parents or from your culture and the people around you. It is in that the God that you are worshipping, or for you that idol represents something inside your mind, whereas in the beginning, for that person who created that idol, it represents the form of God which is beyond the mind. Note the difference, because you cannot you cannot claim that the idol, by your worshipping the idol, you are worshipping the unknown beyond the human mind. All that form of God can bring to you or remembrance is what is in your mind, nothing beyond the human mind. For example, when the Shiva's idol was first created, let's say they represented this Trishul to remind that person the fact that the Shiva principle is where one becomes the three. The Trishul, there is a big, huge, long rod the bottom, and there are three parts above that. That really represents the fact that one becomes the three. That is, the one eyes looking through the three eyes creates these three jyotis, three lights. That is what that the Trishul represents to the person who created that form in the beginning. But for most of you, it is just a weapon of destruction of Shiva. Most of you think that Shiva uses that weapon of Trishul to destroy bad people, about what you call Asuras and so on. And in South India, this is even shown in movies, and poor people who see this movie, they think that Trishul is a weapon of Shiva to destroy bad people. But even when you read the information that that Trishul represents one becoming three, even that one is inside your mind, the concept of one is inside your mind, the concept of three is inside your mind, one becoming three is inside your mind. Those notions are not the living unknown, which is forever becoming one into three. Please keep this in mind. Now, one of the problems, as I said in earlier videos, in idol worship is that every religion, every country has their own form of God, and they think that that is the only representation of God, and it divide the idol worship divides people and creates fear among them, and all kinds of killing, etc., as you all know. The second most important problem is that this idol worship is taking your attention from the living representation of God inside you, that is the three Jyotis inside you, to the idol, and through that idol it is worshipping, or you are worshipping something which is in your mind. In other words, the idol is taking your attention from the living three Jyotis to a dead memory of God that is inside your mind. This is extremely very important thing. As I said in the beginning of this video, this idol does not only represent the idol of God, but idol of the past in general. Everyone, or most of you, I should say, worship the past. If you have a great leader in the past, you have an image of that person, and then you worship that. You worship the fame, the worship the good olden days, the worship the good memories of living with your father or mother, or with your sister or your wife, after they have passed away or disappeared from the physical plane. Now, problem, as I said in one of my earlier videos, in worshipping this past, is that it is coming in between in the three Jyotis inside you and the present moment. All these idols distort the present, and different present a different picture to three Jyotis which wants to bring happiness to you. For example, suppose you have a very good proposal from one of your friends to do something which will be very useful to you, but if you have a bad experience at that person, then you will totally ignore that, even when that person is presenting you that possibilities, opportunity, in good faith to bring happiness to you. This is how you miss the opportunities of the present, and then you fail to achieve, to get whatever you want to support your life. So the bottom line is that every worship of the idol, every idol, whether it is God's idol or idol of your famous person, or the idol of fame, the idol of goodness, the idol of living in a good way with your relatives and friends. Even you often worship the bad experience because you remember them. When whatever you remember becomes an idol and creates trouble to you in the present. So the bottom line is every kind of idol worship is coming in between the three Jyotis, living representation of God and the present moment, and robbing you of joy, opportunities, etc., etc. What is troubling is most of you are even asking boons from the idols, these idols. For example, you can go to form of God and ask, please give this to us. I've been a good person and I want my daughter to be married. I want my son to have a good education, etc., etc. Or I want to avoid this problem, or please solve this disease from my body, or from my mother or wife, etc., etc. When you are asking the boon from an idol, please remember that you are asking for a boon to a dead thing, which is only in your memory. And actually, all the boons are in the present moment. And if you eliminate all the things, all the idols in between the present moment, and you, in other words, the three jyotis inside you, there will be a lot of happiness inside you. You'll be able to achieve whatever you want to achieve, whatever capabilities you have, and then you can live joyfully. Folks, this is what I want to present to you. Please think about that and live in the present. Let the three jyotis inside you provide you all kinds of happiness and joy to you. Do not pose the idol of the past, whether it is a form of God, a form of fame, or a form of your past experience, and make that rob all the good things that can happen in your life. That's what I want to convey to you, folks. Be happy and be free of all these ignorances, and you'll be really be surprised and how good is human life, how good is this third plane of existence, that is the plane of red light. So wish you all good luck in living happily, folks.